property. So for each equation, find its solution or solution. Okay, so if we were solving this first one, we would first add 3 to the other side. And so that would equal x equals 3, right? Pretty simple, right? Okay, same thing with the next one. We would subtract 11. That would be x equals negative 11. Everybody with me so far? Okay, so then on the next one, we would subtract 11. And then we would divide by 2. So that's going to be x equals negative 11 halves, right?
Negative 11 over 2.
So subtract 11 and then divide by 2. That's going to be a negative 11 halves.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Now, if we have this in factored form, which is essentially what this is, right? Okay, we're going to take each one of these, set them equal to 0, and then solve. So x minus 3 equals 0, x plus 11 equals to 0. So this will have two solutions as x equals 3 and x equals negative 11. Everybody see what I did there?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes.
Okay. Same thing for this one. We would set them both equal to 0, and you would have x equals 3 and x equals negative 11 halves. What, Jane? What's the question? Okay. On this one down here at the bottom, you got this x chilling out front. You're also going to set that guy equal to 0 and then solve. That's just going to be x equals 0. And then you would solve this out, and that would give you x equals negative 11 halves. Does everybody see? Like, if we have it in factored form, we're going to set them equal to 0 and then solve. Right hand side. Mm-hmm. Okay, so everybody's okay on this. I don't see any panic yet. What do you notice? Okay, look at it. What do you notice? Look at this first function. I know that's kind of hard to see. You cannot see that. It's a little bigger. This, okay. This one right here. It is, but you just won't see it until way later. It's a cube function. Said vertical line says, huh? It only touches once. Okay. So we're seeing a couple different types of functions. Is there anything else that you see between the equation and the graph? You see a blue line. So good. Not negative 3.
Some of them have like a vertex, while the rest of them are linear lines.
Okay, so some of them are lines and some of them are quadratics. Really quick, this is the connection I want you to make. Ready? Okay, you remember how when we solved this out, we got x equals 3, right? Okay, look at what the x-intercept is. 3. Okay, same thing for these. When you solve these out, you would get 3 and negative 11, right? So that's where they cross.
Oh, you know, I always had problems with that last year. I did not know that.
Welcome back to it. Yep.
That would be like 3 and 11.
I'm sorry, say it again. And 11 halves, yeah. Negative, yep. Negative 11 halves. Yeah. This last one, that's why it crosses 3 times. Yeah.
So the amount
And
of
it's the
x
opposite side.
represents the amount of times it intersects.
There you go. Okay, cool. Write that down. Okay, so Paris just really kind of said it. What we're gonna do, and you want to write this one down. This is gonna be solving by factoring. So this is example 1. Go ahead and write this down. If you have some way that you like to factor, great, run with that if it works for you. I'm going to teach you how to do the big X method and then like the slip and slide method once we have like a number bigger than 1 in the first part. So this is how I do it. Okay, so you see how this is written? This is the standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. This is called standard form. If you don't know this, write that down. Fact of quadratics. Quadratic standard form. Wow, you can't even see that, but that's cool. Okay. Now, what I do is I say, all right, I'm going to take A times C and put it up in the top and put B in the bottom. And I'm going to ask myself, what two numbers can I multiply together to get me A times C, but add together to get me B? This is like the diamond method. Again, everybody calls it something different. So, for instance, makes sense. All right. So, for our function, we're going to get A times C, which is going to give us -6. B is 1. So, what two numbers can I multiply together to get me -6, but add together to get me 1? 3 and -2. So everybody see where I got that from?
Okay, can you do that one more time?
Okay, so what two numbers can I multiply together to get me -6, but add together to get me 1? 3 and -2. Okay, now, since, and this is the big part, since the coefficient of the first number right here, okay, is 1, then what we're going to do is we're just going to take x's and put them in front of both of these. So that's going to be x plus 3 and x minus 2. We haven't changed the sign yet. When we solve, we are going to change the sign. Okay. When we solve, we're going to get x equals -3 and x equals +2. They want us to write them as ordered pairs. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to say -3, 0 and 2, 0, because that's the location that they would actually be at on the graph. So really quick, what we were told to find is to identify the zeros as ordered pairs, which is what we did at the very, very end. This right here is factored form. This is how we solved for the zeros. This is writing it out as ordered pairs. Okay.
So as coordinates.
As coordinates, yes. Okay. From down here with factored form, which time?
And then you switch the x.
Yeah. What? Okay. Good thought. Okay, so now we're going to take it up a notch. This is example 2. Write it down. All right, so we want to have this written in standard form. This is not written in standard form right now. Okay, we got to move 5. This is a vertex. No form. This is not a form. Okay, so we're going to move this guy over to the other side to put it in standard form. Now, when we move it, we're going to switch the sign. So we're going to have 4x squared plus x minus 5 equals 0. Now this is in standard form. We can start doing factoring. I know, crazy.
What you do is bring the 5 into the question and make it equal 0.
Yeah.
Plus b plus c. Yeah, that's standard quadratic, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, so now we're going to factor. All boys and girls pay attention. Ready? A times C is going to give us -20. B is going to be 1. What two numbers can I multiply together to get me -20, but add together to get me 1. -4 and 5. Does that work? Yes. Why y'all always look question? Okay. All right, now here's the important part. Ready? A is no longer 1. With me? So what we're going to do is something called the slip and slide method. What you're going to do is divide both of these things by 4. Why 4? Because that's what the A term is. I know, fascinating. Okay, boys and girls, what is -4 divided by 4? -1. Y'all tell me 0. Okay, here's the big one. 5 divided by 4 does not give you a whole number, correct? Right. So what we're going to do is take 4, slip it up to the top, slide 5 over. What I mean by that is we're going to put 4x plus 5. So here it is again. We took 4, slipped it up to the top, and pushed 5 over. I don't know. I was aggressive. Just got out of here. Get out of here. Okay. So this is now the factored form. With me? What? If it's not a whole number, now we're going to do the slip and slide method. So 5 divided by 4 would give us like 1.25. We're going to take the 4, move it up to the top, move 5 over because it's not a whole number. Say it again. Yeah, up to the front. Okay, now this is the factored form. If we wanted to solve to find the solution, zeros, roots, x-intercepts, which are all the same things, okay, what we're going to do is take each one of these, set it equal to 0, and solve. So this would give me x equals 1. Over here would give me, and divide by -5/4. This will give me x equals -5/4. So x equals 1 and x equals -5/4 would be my zeros, x-intercepts, roots, and solutions. Okay, Ellie solves the following quadratic equation. Part of her work is shown. Fill in the missing pieces. So first thing first, we have to make sure it's in standard form. So what Charlie did first was move that 18 over, right? When you do that is you subtract 18. What's 28 minus 18? And so that's going to be 10x. Okay, now we're going to move that 4 to the other side because we still want it in standard form. So that's going to be plus 10x minus 4.
Would it ever be plus 4?
If it was negative on the side. Okay. Okay, ready for the tricky part? If all of these 3 things are divisible by the same greatest common factor, we're going to divide by that greatest common factor. For instance, all of them share
2.
2. So we're going to divide all of these things by 2. Yeah. I just work here. Okay. Go ahead and take a moment, get to this part in the copying process, and then we're going to talk about the rest. Now we got in here, we're going to factor. So we're going to do the big X, and we're going to take A times C, and that's going to give us -6. B is going to give us 5. What 2 numbers will make this happen? What 2 numbers that multiply together to get me -6, but add together to get me 5?
No, but to get 5. Last time it was 1.
So it's going to be 6 and -1. Everybody always messes that up. Okay, so remember, if our leading term is bigger than 1, we have to divide by that. Okay, we're going to divide by 3. Good try though. Okay, so because that was our leading coefficient. Okay, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. We're gonna put x plus 2 down here. And then -1 divided by 3 is not a whole number. So we're gonna slip and slide. So that's gonna give me 3x minus 1. Okay, everybody with me? 3x minus 1. What?
Mercy.
I slipped and slided it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we're here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set both of these things equal to 0 and then solve. So that's gonna give me x equals -2 and x is gonna equal 1/3. I know, fast math, okay? Are gonna be working on this. Use factoring to solve for the variables. Your partner will work with the other column and then you check your work and you should get the same answer. Okay? Your partner is asleep. Wake up, partner. Okay, so I know you may not finish all of this today. That's okay. We're gonna continue this on Monday, but I want you to go ahead and get started on it because we do need to work on this stuff.